Hello, I'm Madeline from Sheen Slings, and this is how to use the Baby Bjorn Harmony carrier to carry your baby outwards facing. So I'm going to start by popping my carrier on just as I would for inwards facing and getting myself set up first. If you're not sure how to do this, I do have a video on inwards facing and I recommend going through that because I go through how to adjust everything. But I am getting the carrier on and I am paying particular attention to the waistband, getting it really nice and tight. When my baby outward faces, this puts more strain on my back because their weight is drawing away. So it's more important than ever to get the carrier really snug, particularly the waistband really nice and tight and really supportive. And then before I get my baby, I am going to check where my zippers are and I'm going to put them all the way to the absolute narrowest setting, like so that there's space for the legs when they come outwards facing. And then I'm going to check my height setting and again check that it is poppered on the absolute lowest setting so the panel is as short as it can go. And then I am ready to get my baby. So I am going to get my baby. In terms of when I can do this, my baby needs to be able to support their own head and neck, and they need to be very strong in that. So this is never before 4 months, and for most babies, they'll be ready and able to do this somewhere between 4 to 6 months. I'm going to start by getting them in this nice, comfortably sat position so that their bottom goes into the carrier first, and I'm going to sweep this up around them and then around their legs. And you'll notice by doing that, their legs have remained quite high, so they're in that lovely sat position. And I'm going to check that this is not coming up any higher than like here on my baby. Ideally, it's not coming up too high and it's not covering their face or putting pressure on their windpipe. I have to say this doll is a little bit on the small side for this. For most babies, they would be a little bit bigger before you really started to do this. So they would be clearing the top of that carrier a little better. And then I'm going to get those done up first and then these done up, just as I would for inwards facing, just that my baby is the other way around. And then I'm going to start to tighten up. So I'm pulling these down to get a better spread on my back and then towards baby. And I'm supporting baby's weight to really help me while I do that. I have slightly over tightened that side, so I'm going to back it off and slightly under tighten this side. I'm supporting baby's weight because then they're not pulling in the sling. One of the reasons sometimes it can feel really heavy on you is that baby's pulling away too much. So really support their weight and wiggle it down and then tighten, and that can make a huge difference. And then I want to check, that they are sat nicely. So I can also do that by running my hands through and tipping them onto their bottom, tipping their legs. You'll know they're sat nicely if the weight is on their bottom rather than on their thighs. And you can see by making this narrow, we've got that space to come around baby's bottom, but it's not overly tight on their thighs. And then checking that they've got space up here, and we're looking for their arms to be out like this. So here I've got a bit of a problem. Their arm is trapped and they're probably not going to be massively happy about that. So I'm going to fix that. There we go. Perfect. And they can then interact. And now I am good to go, but I'm going to be constantly checking that they are still happy in this position. It's a lovely position for when they're wide awake. Babies can find it quite overstimulating, so I want to turn them in before they get tired. And of course, babies can never sleep in this position because as they do, they are at risk of going over the front of the carrier, and that can impede their windpipe. So I'm going to aim to turn my baby in before they fall asleep, or certainly if I notice them getting drowsy. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions at all, please do pop them in the comments below. And if this has been helpful, please do like and subscribe to this channel. It really helps. Thanks. Bye.